Yes, indeed. Welcome back to another episode of the Lancescurv Show, where we talk about relevant things, things that can help us, things that stimulate us, things that other people are afraid to talk about. This is not about ego. This is about information, day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. Can I say it? Decade in, decade out, in the game since 24 years ago. This is February, right? Well, February 2001 is when we started this long that was about. It's still here. Anyway, I have a very interesting topic today, which we all need, and I need to tighten up on mine too. I'll flash the banner again. Mastering focus, escaping the trap of distraction. And this was too long of a title to squeeze in the words. I also said, and white supremacy, which you don't have to be just black to have to deal with white supremacy, right? It's so funny. Tracy J sent me a message a little earlier, and I also want to speak about on a subsequent show tomorrow, probably. I know I have another one set up for tomorrow. It's not to be revealed until. Now, also, I want you to go and subscribe on Substack, Lancescurv, because there are articles here on that platform that you will not see on YouTube. But I promise, and I've made the commitment to write at least one article a day, or maybe two, on things that the Western media is not going to speak about, that they refuse to speak about. NFN Shaka, welcome on in. Tracy J, see, I called your name, right? Diane, welcome on in. Xavier B, we're here. And I'm accessible. You can reach out to me and say, hey, talk about this, talk about that. I got no problem. I love it like that. You know, I don't want to dictate what food that people eat in the restaurant. Look on the menu and choose what you want. And you can tell me something I don't even know about. Now I have it for you. Anybody wants to participate, or we have any interviews you want me to do, I do it. This is how I get down. I do it for the love of it. There's no secret agenda or hidden motivation. I'm a little sweaty. I'm going to tell you, I don't know if you can see it. What's the other side? I actually went outside to do something yesterday. I fell. See, let me see here. Look, see here? And see my head? And the side of my face, you can't really tell. Right? But, I mean, I hit a cinder block. I just slipped. Boom! I saw it coming up at me. It's crazy. And the way it felt, it was like, uh-oh. And I said, you know what? I don't care how bad it looks. And I didn't angle myself to hide it because this is the way I always sit. You know, this is the angle I always use. So I said, well, it's not so bad. I got on with Brother Neil Frazier, aka Metamorphosis, last night. And it was good. But yeah, man, yeah, look at that. Right here. I already got them little things on top of my head. People say, man, were you a boxer? I said, no, I was born this way. You know, I get drop weight, they come out. I said, it was when I dropped weight one time, I was driving a bus, and I was just I said, I'm gonna drop about 20, 25 pounds, right? And when I caught malaria, that's what happened too. And this girl was like, in the street, mommy, he looked like a monster. Look at his eyes. You know, I got friends of mine that we tease each other. They say I'm the Hulk. Broderick, Enoch. Yes, that's right. That's right. That's the biggest obstacle, because that's something that we have to master that first before we do anything else. And many of us will say, well, I want to accomplish this, I want to accomplish that, but they have no focus. You have to train yourself to focus. That's something that once you master that, anything that you go after in this life, as far as a goal is concerned, it can be a lot easier. Trust and believe, it can be a lot easier. From young, my parents taught me to focus and to back up sometime. You know, you develop the focus and, you know, okay, it's time for this, it's time for that. It's time to read for an hour, stay and focus on it. Don't worry about the other kids playing outside. You have to do this now. You know, and it wasn't a strict upbringing, but they showed me the benefits of discipline and the benefits of staying focused on what you have to do at that particular time. Because so many of us We're in this moment, but our mind is over there. And like I said before, we're never really in the moment that we're living in. We're either thinking about the past. It could be something good, but that's bad if you have to do something in the moment. It's time to celebrate past great moments with your friends. A lot of people, they have regrets and they play it over and over and over and over in their head. Oh, if I did this, I would still be with this person and life would have been so much. You don't know that. Stay focused in the moment. You'll extract more than you could ever imagine. And every moment, every day, every mission that you have is going to be wonderful. I scheduled the show for early. I forgot to change the numbers around. I said it, but I didn't. And the program allowed me to do so, because then now I had some things to do tomorrow that I had an opportunity to do today faster. So I said, okay, I hate to cry wolf, but you all know if I reschedule a show, it's for a reason. It's for a good reason. I've been doing a lot of work in the house, some of this work and everything. I have so many ideas, and I will show them when I'm done. But let me get on with the topic at hand. Like I always do, I kind of put up the banner so when people come in, they see what I'm talking about, or they kind of know and have an idea what I'm talking about. But I'm going to speak about it this way. Let's go into my notes, my little article, and I'll put up the article on the page that's being broadcasted on Substack, because I put my notes a certain way. It's all jumbo. Oh, it'll be after this stream is over, and I feel good enough to maybe try another one afterward. I'm not sure. I always say that and fall asleep. I'm a little sweaty because I was running today. The fight against oppression and white supremacy is not about dwelling on the enemy. It's about empowering ourselves. Too often, we exhaust our energy reacting to every provocation, every injustice, and every setback. But the key to true liberation lies not in defeating the enemy, but in building an unshakable foundation of self-mastery, focus, and collective presence. Self-mastery, focus, and collective presence. That's a beautiful thing. See, many will claim to master themselves, but behind closed doors, they're thinking about or looking for the feedback of what they've done. And when I say enemy, the enemy doesn't have to be someone like in the illustration I put up where it's somebody like a sniper on top of a roof somewhere, but that requires focus. You're on a mission. And when I say I'm an assassin, me personally, I'm an assassin on a creative level, on a righteous level, and I assassinate anything standing in front of me that's to stand in my way or someone else's way that I love. It's just like when you're in law enforcement and somebody attacks your partner. If you're a police officer and you're on patrol and you have a partner, or you're in corrections and you have another correction officer that is being attacked, that's like you being attacked. So they have a thing called the force matrix. And I mentioned that before, and many of you know that legally I can go a step above the force that you're threatening me with or doing to me to stop that force. Now, if you're trying to, I don't want to say the KILL word, but if you're trying to take my life, I have a right by law and you have a right by law. I'm telling you this, check up on me, whether you're law enforcement or not. You can throw it back in their face and say, listen, on the force matrix, he was using or she was using deadly force against me. And you can't say they said it. You have to actually be able to explain it and write it on paper. And you have to think like you're writing on paper. You don't know what cameras are around that if you lie about it, they see you're lying, now you're in trouble. Why did you skip up two steps on the force matrix? Study the force matrix. Where you live, study it. Logical action if you have to do away with somebody if they're coming at you. If they're standing across 25 feet away from you, you have to be able to say, okay, this is not deadly because you're over there. Now, if you're over there with a gun, that's one thing. But if you're over there with a knife and you're not around me or close to me, how could you be a threat? So if you go and you say, oh, I shot him because he had a knife, but where was he standing? 25 feet away? No, that's not acceptable. If he's approaching you and he gets to, you have the gun and he gets to 8, 7, 6 feet, and you can say he lunged at you, then you can pop him or pop him in his foot then. Don't just hit him in the head. So you have to have self-mastery over your emotions, especially when you're in threatening situations, not even when your life is threatened, but when people egg at you to try to, get under your skin. You have to have a laser focus, self-mastery, and to know what your mission is. Like right now, this is what I'm doing. Nothing around me is going to stop me. See, this is me. And this is not me talking tough, because I've always had a life of discipline, even in other areas, when I couldn't say no to the girlfriends. I had no discipline in that area of my life. But when my head, that superseded that weakness, right? Because no, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this right now. So that was my saving grace. But self-mastery. See, you can sit at home and read the books and look at the videos and get on a live stream and talk the talk. But what about what you execute in your life? Like I said, I'm an assassin. And I don't mean that I'm going to go off somebody's life, but you have to see yourself as an assassin. You have to see yourself as that person who has the football on the football team. We're talking American football for other people who think about soccer, or what we call soccer in America, because we have a mixed, and more, there are other countries who are listening to this because of my involvement on the other platforms. So this is a wonderful thing. There's a lot of engagement. But American football, you have the ball and you're running. Guess what? That whole other team, their mission is to stop you from making that goal. Now, this is not to instill a sense of, but you have to think this way. When you leave your house every day, what is your mission? Tell yourself, even if you're just going to a 9-to-5 or a job where it's not 9 to 5, it's so many hours, it could be 12 hours plus some overtime, whatever it is. What is your mission? What am I going to accomplish today? If I'm going to do this every day on social media and commit to write relevant things on social media and start to do my artwork, which I'm going to do something for Malik Aziz on the Muslim streets for his website, and he has a vast platform, so that will go viral, the thing that I'm drawing. So I know I get appreciation here. Also on this page, you can click on the merchandise below and purchase a shirt if you want. I'm going to be making some sayings on some shirts that you ain't going to see nowhere else, and they're going to be dirt cheap, right? But what is your mission? Now, if you go to your job and there's always that pest, there's always that person trying to get up under your skin to play mind games, you can't let that distract you. Because then when it distracts you and you become unraveled and you move a step shorter or slower, they won. If your focus is to not get involved with these lower energy entities who are mixed up within themselves and they want to try to get you mixed up in their funk, and you don't speak to them, you keep your face straight, because see, you got what you know you're going to do. There are waste of time. Now, I'm not going to say on a certain level, I can say it this way: we're all human beings, we're all God's children, and nobody is better than anyone else. But if you look at the musical scale, certain notes are higher than others. Certain notes are lower. I'm not saying there's anybody better than anybody. So they're lower on their vibration when they're not bringing anything positive to your life, except their mission is to come and rattle you, watch you, peep on you, try to throw a speed bump in your path with a smile on the face sometime. You can pick up on those energies when you meditate enough. And meditating doesn't mean Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, Nam-myoho Renge. Doesn't mean you have to whatever. It could be just you sitting still. You can meditate and be on public transportation, or you can be in a traffic jam, right? You can be in a crowded line at Walmart or whatever big store you go, Home Depot or Lowe's, or whatever, and there's noise around you, but your mind, you can be within yourself. Self-mastery. You're not going to have the focus unless you master that, unless you have that. unless you conquer yourself. And you have to be able to talk to yourself. You are your best friend. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you're not doing anything to yourself to hurt yourself because maybe you feel broken or your strength is not where it should be. You got to love yourself and you got to take care of yourself. The person you lay next to, if you're with somebody, they're not going to be with you all the time. And you shouldn't be waiting on another person to give you that. You need to give yourself that and be full of that feeling, because when you have that, they're going to love you more because you appreciate yourself. You can drive down the street or walk down the street in a residential neighborhood, and you can see those who take care of their lawns and their yard, and you see some who neglect it. And you don't have to know who it is that lives inside that house. I remember Mrs. Scurv and I, when we lived out in Orlando, you know, she's a fanatic. And I don't mean in a bad way, but she loves her plants. She talks to her plants. If we're going somewhere and we're not in a rush, she'll say, wait a second, I got to trim this or whatever. Or let's move this out the way or do something. When left alone, I'll wake up and, where is she? That's her passion, right? But people have walked by. I've been right there. Have walked by and said, ma'am, I drive past here every day to go to work. They ain't giving me the credit. They see her out there all the time, right? And they said, I just love how you keep your yard. I can tell how you love this. And I already know what the inside looks like. Maybe not exactly, but I know you're very meticulous. You see, what we do supersedes people knowing us. They'll know us through those actions that way. You know, my mother used to get the same thing. My mother would always, when she's heading off to the college to teach, you know, the way she greeted people, the way she spoke to people, they didn't know what she was all about. Some people, like, not in the neighborhood, they knew. But when you go beyond, they just observe you. They say, you know, there's something about you that is just so healing and so loving, you know. You have entities on you who are trying to snipe your life. You got to make sure that you're protected, but you have to know your mission, because if you're on the football team or the soccer team, where you're kicking the ball trying to get the goal, but on the football team in America, you have the ball and you're running with it. But if you don't know where the goal is, you got the ball, the whole team has their eyes on you, but you don't know your mission. And there are people who are around you to distract you from your mission when they know and they can see that you have greatness inside of you. They will work overtime to come around and distract you or discourage you. With what I do, I don't think it's a threat. When I first moved out here to Ghana, one person came, oh, you know you must stop what you're doing. Huh? Yeah, you're not in America anymore. You don't have to do this. Just live your best life. Well, how am I going to be a happy Lancescurv unless I can do this? I'm not happy. I love to create. I mean, okay, I don't have to have my face in the camera. Most of my years being online, it wasn't even that. I never knew to be something like this. I never thought I would be talking to people like this. I mean, the younger folks grew up on this. I had one little picture, little thumbnail size picture of me. And that was pixelated. It was so small. But I knew my mission. As it evolves, sometimes you get to know even better. But remember, there are people out there who see the greatness inside of you, and you have to master yourself. But to master yourself, you have to master the focus. Know what really means a lot to you. The worst thing is to sit up and say, you know, I could have been this and I could have been that. And you'll have some people who despise you for your talent and your ability and will want to rub it in your face years later. Oh, you know, you could have been this. They weren't saying that then when you could have been. You let them know, well, listen, I didn't choose to do that, but I'm good at this or what I do now. And you have to put that over those entities. Whatever it is that is important to you, you must do it. And it's something righteous and it's something good and it's something that soothes your soul, you do it and you put it as a priority over. Because people will come and go in your life. When I started doing this stuff online, and a lot of hell I went through. And you know what I said? I'm drawing these pictures. I'm writing these articles because you know what? When this one here is gone, if I let that situation stop me at that time, I wouldn't have the body work I do now from the past, which was long before video came out. I got all this stuff, all the videos, all the stuff. I just leak them out a little bit at a time. Happy when stuff got knocked out. Happy now you're showing you it's good. Wait, ain't that a whole one? You saw they put up a lot of old Mrs. Scurv videos. A whole lot. I got a treasure trove of stuff because I'm focused on what it is that I have to do. My mission. Let's continue on. This discussion expands on a powerful conversation that highlights how distractions keep Black people from achieving their full potential. By understanding the enemy's tactics and shifting from reactive to proactive strategies, we can reclaim our power and work toward freedom. Reactive and proactive. I love that. You know why? Because much younger, I didn't get many fights when I was younger. I got in a couple of fights and came out on top. Can't say that I was whipped. I was never whipped. I could have been whipped. I'm not saying I'm bad. I'm not going to lie. Nobody saw me lose a fight because I hardly got into fights. And once you knock out one or two people and you get a reputation, nobody's going to mess with you. I'm not saying I'm some Billy Bad behind tough guy, right? But reactive and proactive. You can tell when two men or two women, but two men, when they get into a fight, you can tell who is reactive. Now, you can say a counterpuncher is reactive. He's not going to throw the first blow. He's squaring up, but he wants you to throw the first blow so he can see what you did to counter it. So I'm not going to say that is reactive, but the reactive I want to speak about is the reactive of where you don't really want to fight. And so you have two guys squaring up and nobody throws a punch, and they'll throw a punch and they're backing up already. And the other guy didn't even throw anything. When you're proactive, you're like, listen, I know I'm going to get hit. I know I'm in a fight, but guess what? You get a hit in, but guess what? When you get my combinations, 2, 3, boom, 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 and I keep on coming because my lungs are clear. I'm not no wino drinking out of shape. You know what I mean? I'm not in the best shape, but for my age, I think I can hang a few rounds. I'm not going to make it easy on nobody. But the bottom line is proactive and reactive. Are you living a proactive life? Are you living a life righteously aggressive where you say, I'm going after this. This is my goal. And no amount of setbacks are going to stop me, right? No amounts. You're only temporarily detoured. You're never defeated. You're righteously detoured. And that detour may take you to a better place to get you to that goal. But in this system, and we say white supremacy, but they're not supreme. That's their sickness. And it's only real if we accept it. Doesn't mean still trying to do things and implement themselves on top. Can't be afraid. We have to know that we are the sugar, honey, iced tea, and they need us more than we need them. We don't need them. Why? Look at Burkina Faso, President Ibrahim Traoré. What he's doing. He just flipped it over, and I put it in the article today right there, that he made all land in Burkina Faso government owned. Oh my God, it's a dictatorship. No, it's not. That would prevent things from happening as it's happening in South Africa, right? People coming in and bogarting the land, and now they had it so long, they feel like it's theirs. And when you move to take it back and restore it to the people you stole it from many years ago, and you're profiting from everything, now all of a sudden they want to say something's wrong. Well, stop it from the beginning. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing. There'll be no land disputes from chiefs and communities and different things. Government owned. You have the right to it for the next 100 years. You want to pass it down, fine. But nobody else is going to come from another country and do what we had to do. So this is why we have to always be proactive in how we think. That system is always going to put us at the crappy end of the stick. It's never going to say, well, we realize that we've been wrong and we're going to be nicer on you people. You people. They're never going to do that. They can be friendly to you, but they're not going to be your friends. That's what Neil Frazier said last night, and I'm going to say it again, right? Tracy J. Francis cry. You're right. France is good. They all need to cry. They had their time. Imagine, look what Trump is trying to do, saying, I'm gonna fix up Gaza and they can come back. They ain't gonna let them come back. That's like a guest coming inside your house and you let them stay for a little while and they start taking over and they kick you out, but you still got to pay the rent of the mortgage. Imagine that. Nah, have your own. Don't be afraid to leave this system. Wherever they are and they rule, you need to get out. Physically, mentally, and emotionally. But there's so many people who are scared of that because they have no confidence because they're so comfortable under the slave master's rule. Well, what am I going to do? Well, why would you find yourself in this situation so scared and frightened? Because they're giving you the dookie end of the stick. You are the dookie stick. You remember the dookie stick? You used to play in the street, football, baseball, whatever it may be. We running around and we have where the bases are, but some dog went over there and they made some poo-poo over there. And so we got to clean it out the way because nobody wants to slide and fall in that. So you go to a little hedge, a little branch, and you break it off and you take that branch and you move that stuff out the way. And on the other end, you still got some of that stuff on there. So that's the dookie stick. What do you save the dookie stick? No, you don't eat with it. You don't touch it. It's got doo-doo on there, right? So it's a purpose. So we've served our purpose, a system, and they're steady trying to get rid of us. Not even like, oh, just go away. No, they want to snuff us. They don't care about us. You know, they don't care about us at all. And so many people are so afraid to leave the system. Oh, that's my office. That's my job. I'm here and I'm there. And they, you know, I make good money there. And the minute they give you the pink slip, what am I going to do? You should always have something of your own. But these people being around them, the way they're going to manipulate things with AI and the technology and all of this stuff, it's crazy. And it's going to come right at us. And just the same way, they're doing the mass deportation. Well, if you hear they're illegal, well, you got to follow the law. But then again, in the same token, don't think that can't happen to us. Either some type of subservience with these smart cities or just pushing us out. Anything, what you going to do? You're going to have unity then. All this separation, all these different black organizations against each other and talking, let some hunger hit you behind. Let some cold being out of doors and rain hit you. Now you're going to find out who's who. That system ain't made to serve you, and the goalposts can be moved. It can be moved. It's not going to stay the same. Well, I have the right. How do you know? How do you know you have the right to whatever? It's only what they grant you for now. The power of focus. Stop watching your enemy fall. One of the greatest misconceptions in our struggle is the belief that we must engage with our enemy at every turn. The truth is, once we strike our blow, we must move on. Once we strike our blow, we must move on. Whether they suffer, struggle, or retaliate is irrelevant. A true warrior does not waste time watching the enemy fall. They keep moving toward their ultimate goal. They keep moving toward their ultimate goal. That's where you have to know what your mission is. Yeah, I hit him in the leg. A bullet hit him. No, you're wasting energy then. Look, when we all transition, if we have the luxury of knowing that we're going to transition, the luxury, not something hitting us or something falling out the sky or a car accident, something quick, you laying there. And let's hope it's a natural transition, no pain, just you knowing that it's time to expire and you lived a wonderful life, meaning a wonderful life where you raised your family, good integral, and accomplish things you want to accomplish. Because if you wasted it on the back and forth, I already have a deathbed mentality right now. What do I mean by that? I'm not letting a second go by where I'm not moving to accomplish something that I know I righteously have to accomplish. I don't want to sit up there, well, you know, back in 1982, I could have done this and I could have done that. No. I'm going to celebrate them things and happy that I did what I did. Yep. AI is now taking jobs as we speak, Tracy J says. There are so many people on making YouTube videos about being laid off. These are white collar jobs too. Riri, welcome on in. Glad to see you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love you too, sweetheart. I love you too. You know that. I love all of y'all up in here. You know what I mean? That's what counts to me. That's what makes it, you know. But yeah, we don't want to waste time even celebrating the downfall of your enemy. Look, once you chop on the tree, choop, 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 and you something timber before it even hits the ground, I'm walking back the other way. I'm going for the next tree. That's a good way to find yourself in depression. That's a good way to find yourself in depression, focusing on what you just did. I don't even want to party with the victory that I may have. No, I'm not even going to party. It's on to the next one. I'm going to flash my old funky bodybuilding pictures again to show y'all who don't know me that I had discipline, right? Discipline. 19 years old, October 10th, 1982. Some of y'all weren't even born. Some of you weren't even born. From them ages, it was discipline, right? Those ages, it was discipline. I didn't have the discipline of the time to get my hair cut at the time in this one, but discipline, y'all. I'm with that. So this thing here, this is child's play. This is not about talking about it and mastering and focus. I don't do that anymore. I'm looking when this house is done to get into it mildly to be an older guy who's fit. But my focus will be on so many other things, not spread thin, but as it is now, which means you have to master your time. If I'm sitting here, you yap your mouth and watch me. I got something to do. You see what I mean? And every day that you go to bed, when you master the focus, and you can say, listen, I've earned the ability, I've earned the right to rest. I look forward to the time when it is to rest. Not that I don't want to do anything that I did today, but I'm so happy that I got this done. I got that done. I didn't get this done the way I wanted, but another opportunity came that I could do these things like today. That's why I had to postpone the show. And tomorrow I get home. I just pushed the show back. I was actually going to do 2 shows. I just did this one. Who knows what I'll come back with later? Maybe I get tired. There's not much later for me because it's 10:33, but we'll see. But I know I'll double and triple up tomorrow if I don't do anything tonight. And then there's the other things. I got some hard manual labor in here to do. Focus. You can do it. The time I don't know if I can do it. Maybe tomorrow. Ain't no tomorrow for me. Hopefully there is. I'm saying there's no tomorrow to waste and count on and put my life on credit. Just like when you pay something, you know, back in the day when we had layaway, where you go to the department store and say, hey, I want that item, but it costs $1,200. I don't have it right now. There's no credit cards. I'll give you $100 a month until the 12 months go by and you can release it to me. Okay, you sign the papers and that's what you do. You can miss 1 or 2 payments, but if you miss after 2 or 3, it's like you never paid nothing at all because they're in there for business to sell things. They got to be disciplined too, right? So we can't credit card our life away. And I don't mean just credit cards, but with our energy and our time. And the other thing I want to say again before I move on to the next point, I've said this before, don't worry if you have 60% of what you had yesterday. Like yesterday, oh man, I'm 100%. The next day comes, oh, I'm a little beat down. I'm not where I was yesterday. It don't matter. 100% applies to the 60% of what you were yesterday. If you just have 60, give 100%. Something, you know, every blow is not a knockout blow. You might miss, you might just clip the person's jaw, whatever, but you come with that one. You just keep throwing punches. You keep throwing 100%. I don't care if it's 13%. Oh, I'm beat up. I'm not going to hardly get up out the bed. Well, you're not going to demand physical labor out of yourself. Rest yourself, but do this. Study, ask questions, Google some things. Use the sword of AI against them and ask them questions and come out with a better strategy. There's always a way to move forward, whether you walk 10 miles or 2 steps. Even when you walk 2 steps and you're tired and can't do no more, you still move forward. Discipline, the focus. It's all about the focus, y'all. Let's move on to the next point. Every time we allow ourselves to be emotionally entangled with the actions or words of our oppressors, we slow ourselves down. Energy that can be used to build, strategize, and we create is instead wasted on reactions. Our strength lies in forward motion, not in lingering over the destruction of what oppresses us. This is not the time. And yes, it is terrible, the things that they have done and continue to do to us. But this is their job. Why shocked 2005? Why are you shocked? If every time you walk down a certain street, somebody throws a brick off the roof to try to hit you in your head, why are you shocked at that? And why do you keep going down that same block or street? Somebody's gonna say, what's this block? We have a lot of different language barriers here. But why? It doesn't surprise me anymore. Even with some of our own. Mr. SCURV was saying, yeah, I enjoy the old videos you put up, but I'm not going to really focus like that anymore. And I said, I agree with you, meaning that we're concerned about us. These principles can be used for any race, really. Mastering focus, they pretty much use them on us. Focus. We just popping our fingers. Man, I had a hard week, man. I got to go down to the bar. You know, my wife gonna be out of town, man. So I see that little chick around the corner, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, she asking for money too, man. I don't know, but focus. If there's nothing I know to do or nothing I have on my plate to do, guess what? I'm gonna rest myself for the times that I know. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna cut out all the lights. I'm gonna sit on the couch and just. How are you gonna get your downloads when you're filling your mind with filth? Right? Or what the enemy is doing or has done to you. Man, I can't stand these people, man. I knew it when I went to this job, man. They're going to do that to me, man. I train all these guys. They don't know jack like me. I've been there all them years. And they my supervisor. Well, since you know this, why don't you take your expertise and do your own thing? It doesn't mean that you got to leave a job immediately where you know you got checks coming every other week, every month, whatever it is you get paid. But start to cultivate your own. They are sucking from you to build themselves up. Why can't you suck from you, from what you have on the inside? We can't go on the open market and do what we have to do. And then we have our own who come at us for that. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's all about that money. Why not? As long as you're fair and you provide a service. Why not? Everybody else is doing it. It's not a bad thing. It'd be perfect if we can get rid of the dollar bill or whatever currency we use and barter. But too many of us are not fair to barter. We want to have more than the next person. Hence this system. But while we're in it, we have to use it. Look, I got some money over there. You want to see what a Ghana 100 CD look like? This looks big. This looks nice. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, look at him flashing money. But do you know how much this is worth? You put this up. You know how much this is worth? At the rate of maybe 1 for 15, $1 American dollar for 15 Ghana CDs. Right? In a fraction. A little over $6 this is worth. So I'm not saying anything. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, roughly, right? 36, 42, 48, 54, and 60. All of this is about $60, y'all, and they control the strength of it. They control the strength, the up and down, and how this is the value of this and that. No, we need to come out of that. Because I never saw a mango hanging on a tree that said, you know what? You picked me, you picked the fruit off me, you got to give me so much money. What's the mango tree going to do with money? The artificial system that we're in, they will continue to marginalize us. They'll continue to shortchange us. They'll continue to rip us off. And we give all of our life force that could be building something for us. And we get a piece of paper that they still control. Yeah, I need the paper. But I'm weaning myself off the paper. You don't see no grown man sucking his mother's breast at 25 years old. There's a time where you got to wean off of that. You understand? I was going to say something smart, but I ain't going to say it. We keep this serious. There's a time to wean off and stand on your own 2 feet, but we're so strong to build up somebody else's system, but yet we feel and we're programmed that we're so weak and can't do it on our own. That's a hell of a brainwashing that they have over us. and we complain and do nothing. We complain and do nothing. Don't do a thing. Most of us don't. Some do. So this is why I'm not going to defend a person being slothful. All they do is run their mouth, but they ain't looking to do the damn thing. Again, you don't see this whole studio. This is just an example. This wasn't here before. Now it's a room with lights and luxuries and amenities, not some luxurious whatever, but I mean, yeah, I mean, what I had furniture before, we moved it all out here, right? I'm 62 and what you was expecting to have nothing? I worked hard on my life. And America has ripped me off and is ripping you off right now. If you're in UK, all them places where they are, they're getting more out of you than you getting out of you. And you scared to move on. But as they continue to stroke you and strike you, and I meant it that way, they strike you and we do the motion, they stroking you. And you bent over, take it. Oh, it hurts so much. At least he can use grease. At least they can kiss me a little bit, make it seem like he loves me. They don't love you. Starting to be so lewd, but that's what they're doing. And sometimes you got to speak even more harsh. Look at the sweat dropping. That's when I started getting passionate. No, I drank a lot of liquid today, and these lights are hot. I'm sweating from young. They getting you, and you don't even have the confidence to run away. You leave one job and you want to go to the next one. Here, I'm going to offer up my backside. You can do it. Don't do it too hard like the other boss did. And when they do, you complain about it. And you have a life of complaining. I know some great people who have some great talents and abilities, and they still working little menial temp jobs. How are you going to be great from when you're a young teenager, you go to school and trained in a specific area of expertise, and because of your own lack of mastery in the sexual area of your life, you let these women piddle your life away? Mastering focus. If there's any kids in the room, get them out. I'm going to tell it like it is. There have been times I've been someplace and getting certain acts performed, and my buzzer on my watch goes off, and I have to stop. Listen, gotta go. You were almost there. No, I got somewhere to go. We can do that later on. That's the real mastery. When I was doing bodybuilding, I was fanatical like that. If I wasn't taking those steroids, I really couldn't miss no workouts. I really couldn't eat no bad food. I really had to push myself, ride from Queens into Brooklyn, train for hours, ride the bike, or ain't no short ride where I lived, and then come back out in the park that night with my buddies, and we're going to run some more. And we're going to practice the posing. So we're ready when we get on stage. Just make your body hard. Naturally, it comes from here, mastery. So you take that. It doesn't have to be bodybuilding or boxing or something like that. It could be anything that you've mastered. You got nerds who may be out of shape. They sitting by the computer eating Dunkin' Donuts and soda all day and pizzas and soda, but they've mastered the coding. They mastered what they do online and their brains that way. But the trick is to live in balance. Keep your body right, keep your mind right, keep your spirit right, and keep the garbage people away from you. Like I said, I don't even want to lock eyes with these losers. They're losers, and we're afraid to say that. Oh, man, the white man. And we know the white man, the system. We know what it does. All the years I lived in it, I know what it does. So I'm not shocked. I haven't been shocked in a long time. They're doing their job. You put a plate of food down, and you got flies flying around. You think the fly ain't going to try to land on that food and get the food? Oh, the fly's scared of me. I'm going to go out in the room. I'm going to go use the bathroom and come back. They're going to be all on your food. They're doing what they're there to do. That's their nature. Once you understand the nature of your opponent, worse, your oppressor, you should like counter and move out the way. Distract them, faint them a little bit. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not in America no more. I'm not scared. I'm moving around just like I've been living here all my life. I was on the van coming up, and they check the vans that come up, and they make sure and everything. And the cop was, "Hey, my brother, how are you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm good. I love your shows." I'm like, "Thank you, brother." It's the cop that I talked to when I first got here. And I told them what we were going to do. I want to come to your studio one day. I want you to put me on camera. I'm going to do that too. They draw strength from you. Instead of me coming out here and just sitting down on the porch and just looking at people, this is my best life, and let me just drink and sit here and be mad at everybody else. No, I can't stop. I don't care if I'm in an old folks home somewhere. They're going to know me. You want to come visit me? Hopefully I'm not there, right? But you come, Scurv. Oh, yes, Larry. You just go down to room 18. We know him. Boy, he makes our job fun. Always going to be doing something. Always going to be motivated on something. That keeps you from being depressed. That's a secret. I never had a problem with depression. But if you're like that skimming rock over the water, now all skimming rocks, after a while, when you throw it on the lake and you play the game, so it's always a little skinny guy, and he's not a certain way, and it like 5 skips. How'd you do that? When you keep yourself light and don't get caught up and being pulled down into this mentality, I got to go. You got to treat these folks like a hot stove. I'm out of here, man. See, the stove can be hot. Touch it like that, I can feel the heat, but it's not gonna burn me. But if I hang around with the stove, psst, all of a sudden, my hands burnt. You got to keep it moving. Just like the song there, Boogie Nights, got to keep on dancing, keep on dancing. Well, then this one, got to keep on moving. Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, man, we're gonna hang out one day, maybe next week, but check with me, right? And you out. They call you next week and they ain't picking up. That's right. We check out some of these comments here. Let's see. Riri, we got Riri here. That's why Terrence was so on to something. But of course, they try to claim he crazy. Damn it, could never. We live under this fallacy. Look at the fires that burnt LA the hell down. Yeah. Engineered stuff. Tracy J. America has 2 true loves, money and power, nothing else. And Diane agrees with Tracy J. Riri says again, if they want it and you don't give it up, they burn your ashes out, period. This is a known fact. We had fruit trees and bushes everywhere. Some of us got our ass beat with switches. That's right. That's right. That's real. That's as real as it gets. Let me hit this next point here. Here we go. Okay, where was I? Let's skim through these things. Okay. Every time we allow ourselves to be emotionally entangled with the actions or words of our oppressors. Okay, I think I read that one already. I'm gonna read it again. I'm gonna jump right into the next one. We slow ourselves down. Energy that could be used to build, strategize, and create is instead wasted on reactions, right? Our strength lies in forward motion, not in lingering over the destruction of what oppresses us. You don't hear me talking about, look, a lot of stuff happened to me in America. I'm here now. I'm building now. I have plans now. I am gaining momentum. Black people are deeply connected to the vibrations of the earth. We feel every shift, every injustice, and every ripple in the world around us. This sensitivity is both a gift and a curse. It makes us empathetic, passionate, and resilient. But when left unchecked, it makes us highly distractible. Throughout history, our greatest movements have been triggered by emotion. Emmett Till, John Martin, George Floyd, Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. While these events deserved outrage, our responses have often been short-lived, reactionary, and ultimately ineffective in bringing lasting change. The system knows this, which is why they continue to provoke us. Ain't that something? It's short-lived. We're like a little child who was throwing a tantrum because we didn't get that box of cookies that we wanted our mother to get. And as soon as our mother gives us one cookie, we all right. We all right. And it's sick how predictable we are as people. That's why I say I am an assassin. If I do feel emotions, I'm not going to let the emotion take me out of what my mission is. You see? If I set to do a new piece of artwork by next week, and I tell my friend, I have it to you this time next Tuesday, unless something takes me out that is an emergency or something that I can't control, it's going to be done. I jot my notes down. If I say I'm going to do a show, I'm going to do it unless something has me reschedule. Day in and day out, day in and day out. Again, another reference to boxing. You can have a guy who has the strongest punch, knock you out with one blow, but he's not in great shape, but he still hits you and going. And you can have a guy who has so much stamina and doesn't hit as hard, but if he keeps hitting, wearing you down, and you're trying to chase him and you can't catch him, he's going to get you. We don't really have, we have the ability for sustained effort, but we don't seem to put it in the right place. Sustained effort. Like Mike Tyson said, you can become successful in anything if you do the thing that you don't like you love it. We love a lot of things and it's easy. But what about the things you don't like? What about the parties you refrain from going to, or the hangouts you refrain from going to, or the things that you do that's weakening you that you shouldn't be doing, that you do anyway sometime because you know the world doesn't know it? But what about you and yourself mastering yourself and say, you know what? I am not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do it this way because this formula has worked and it's proven, and I'm going to do it. Ain't no, well, just you can do this tonight and you don't have to do. No, because I think about it all the time. You don't have to go tonight. You don't know. This is where you'll know what that means. If I can refuse that as a 16 or 17-year-old because I have a goal, I'm bad. And you have to celebrate your victories. Don't feel, oh, I have to be humble. Doesn't mean you're a narcissist. It means you know your capabilities and you want to be able to build up on your capabilities. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for the talents and abilities you have. You don't have to apologize what God gave you. Imagine that. Some little do nothing that's not doing anything with their life, or they're content with mediocrity. You have to lessen yourself to be acceptable to them. You're a fool if you do that. You don't need them kind of people around you. Because if they can't get motivated off of what you do, you go, I'm just going to reduce myself and just sit around all day and live a nondescript life. Then you're cussing God when you do that. Whatever you call God supreme being, we ain't going to argue about that. But you're cussing God. He gave you all of this potential, gave you the seeds of greatness, gave you a mind that oftentimes we use for the wayward things. Why is it that we're going to be the greatest criminals? Now, we know the greatest criminals are the U.S. government and them people. But even on our petty level, we figure out ways to get over it with little stupid things. And why can't we use that for greatness? Why can't we use it to elevate ourselves? If I had an odometer on my brain from the amount of thoughts that I had to think to get myself from point A to point B to point C, you get knocked back to point A, and you got to come back again. You get almost to point Z, and you get knocked all the way back. Got to keep coming. Like Marvin Gaye said in the song Trouble Man, I'm coming hard. I came up hard, right? He got knocked down and had to get up again. And yet you get knocked down, you have to be ready. You're not thinking about getting knocked down, but when you get knocked down, you say, you know what? I'm not, oh, you put all these years of work and you didn't. No, it's in me. And the vibration I send out to the world, whatever you do is out there and it comes back to you. That's why you hear that echo when you yell on the mountainside. Hey, yo, 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 yo. The vibration is coming back to you. That can't be stopped. You have to know this. It's being recorded. And you will have the motivation to come back even stronger when you don't think like a mere mortal. You have to understand you're connected and backed up by the strongest entity in the world. And as long as you stay connected, ain't no little Johnny come lately or some little false prophet can say anything against you because you got this thing inside of you. And imagine if we were collective as a people with this great thing that we have on the inside of us. Just people say, well, you know, it shouldn't be about race. It should be about character. Well, why is our race the one mainly destroyed all over the planet? You only think about no character then? What about the good people of us? I'm not saying any of us are bad those of us who are on point good and living proper and righteous, and we get struck down in the system too. So you can miss me with that BS. It should be that in a perfect world, but it's not that in this world, in the system, the way things are run. So if you're coming at me in that light, I'm going to think in a way to build us up. But for a lot of us who are frauds, who are punks, who talk the talk, see, it's easy to get on YouTube and talk the talk. It's easy to get up and say, well, I used to do this, and I was that, and I was this. Show me. You righteous? Show me your wife as a man. But you can't do that because she left you because of your ways. You see what I mean? But we want to talk righteous and all this stuff. Show me. Show me. Show me what you're all about. Show me a record, a picture, or somebody else who can vouch for you of standing. All trickery online. We get up and put our costumes on and talk all this stupid stuff. And I'm like, this nigga really put themselves out there like, oh, this sister really, we can pretend. And now these social media platforms have been used to slow down the real momentum. How many movements have happened because of this that wasn't controlled by somebody else? Look back at the civil rights movement. Back then, I believe they had the technology. They had computers. They had a somewhat kind of an internet that was military. You can't tell me this present time wasn't thought up to gentrify our minds, to take over our mind. They can rant and rave on the video, and we'll have comments. Then they'll get the satisfaction of feeling they did something. This ain't doing nothing unless you connect with it. Those who talk the talk and live it, not just tell you. I invite you into any part of my life. I don't have to keep it just one way. I'm not going to tell, oh, my social security number is this and my credit card. No, I'd be a fool if I did that. Learn the difference. There are people who contact me, I talk back with them. Not everybody. Because some want to babble, and man, you people, man, they're doing this wrong. Well, do something right for yourself. I'm not going to sit here and join the babble brigade, just sitting somewhere, man, it's hard out here. Be harder. I'm harder. I'm hard. I'm so hard to the system, they damn near want to call me a criminal. Because it's criminal what I think in my mind on how I'm going to elevate, regardless as to what the plans are, the system to keep me as another statistic, to avoid death, to avoid getting into an altercation with a brother who misunderstands me, and he does the job of snuffing me out. You're brilliant, and you're using your brilliance on the wrong thing. You haven't mastered focus. You haven't mastered yourself. Show them how bad you really are. I skirted around all the traps in America, and I'm still here. 62 years old in 2 months. And them little punks sitting up in the office and want to shadow ban you or come at you or whatever. Half my age, I'm ready to go with you this way, or this way. That's how you have to think when you're a real warrior. Not you lay down. We know what they're doing. And the things that they can do to us hurt. They can turn the laws around and find a way to foreclose on your home. They can turn something around and somebody complain on you and they have a panel and, well, we just have to let you go. And then you know that you're right. I've been beat around all kind of ways, but I get off on it because you know what? They are not strong enough to take away my ability to focus, to figure out what I have to do. And you can't get emotional when it's that way. I'm passionate. I'm like, oh, I can't take it no more. Rest then. Rest yourself, right? Like Chuck D said, and welcome to the Terror Dome. When I get mad, I put it down in a plan. Give them something that they never had. And I'm not giving you anything, except maybe a punch in the jaw symbolically, because me surviving and living to this point in my life, going, nah, you didn't get me. But I have no time for that. My very presence alone does that to them, so I don't have to do that. People that's half my age that I haven't seen in a long time, you're looking so old. Man, it's hard. You keep saying it. Look, I say I'm harder. I'm tougher. Like the old grandmothers used to say, God don't throw nothing on you can't handle. I truly understand that. So whenever you have a challenge, understand that it's an invert complement to your abilities that you may not even know that you have. Just look within and get away from the distractions, get away from those negative people, get away from those defeated people. We want to save everybody. We want to help as much as we can, but we can't forfeit us doing what we have to do for ourselves, just to sit down on the curb. Now, I'm not above anybody. Y'all know I've interviewed crackheads, winos, whatever. They got something to say too. I'm not saying that's what they are, but just for verbal shorthand, I'm not trying to talk down to anybody, but you can't linger there. You have to shine so you can help them be motivated. Oh, he's one of us. And he's still, a lot of people from our neighborhood, man, they get on, they call me, man, you still doing the daggone thing, man. You representing in my own way. Doesn't mean you have to be, LANCESCURV is going to perform at the Super Bowl halftime. I'm not that big. That probably never happened. What I'm saying is that we all have the ability to affect somebody. Sometimes we don't even know it. When my mother passed away, there were so many people who she knew more people than I could even comprehend. And up to 2 and 3 years after she passed away, there were still people beyond that she knew I didn't even know that were coming and saying, oh my God, your mother affected us so much in such a wonderful way. Do you know what she did? My daughter was on drugs and your mother used to stop by at least for an hour every day and talk with her. And she's off of drugs. It didn't happen overnight. There's somebody else. I'm like, that's why she was coming home late all the time. You know what I'm saying is that for me, maybe it might be doing one of these shows. If she was around when that technology came, maybe she would talk and whatever. She wasn't as amped as me. She was nice and composed. And, you know, she was a performer with the opera and everything. So she had a way of communicating without having to raise her voice. And the expressions on her face would reach you. Didn't have to raise her voice. Amazing. I'm a little different, but I'm cut from that cloth. I can do that, but I get not emotional, but a bit sometimes passionate, right? Let's see what it is. Okay. Ooh, okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. The real fight is not in reacting. It is in mastering ourselves. We must channel our energy into long-term strategies that empower us rather than burn us out. There you go. I can tell you, like I said, we must channel our energy into long-term strategies that empower us rather than burn us out. When I used to train, I was so full of enthusiasm, I used to think more was better. So I'd go into the gym and work out and work on a body part or a certain section of my body, because that's how it works. I'll talk about, if you all want to know about this stuff, I can tell you all about this stuff, right? And then another friend would come in after I'm done with my workout. I thought more was better. Okay, come on. I'll do it with you. I was already in there 2 hours, which was much too long anyway. We listen to music. We work it out hard. But after a week or two of doing it like that, I'm burning myself out. I didn't think about the long-term goal. I was overtraining, under-eating. I'm eating, but it was time between each one. So I forgot about the long-term goal, and I was depleting myself, and I'm getting weaker with what I was lifting. I didn't want to go sometime, right? So that's why we can't go too high and too low. We got to stay steady. We got to monitor our energy, because we have to be able to make those positive steps to the long-term goal. And collectively, Black people, we a lot of us can't even do that on our own. We talk, a lot of us are not able to do that on our own, because so you want to see what everybody else is doing. Did you hear this? And this one said this one about you. And oh, I don't like him. I'm going to straighten him out when I see him. Say what you want. There's a lot of things that get back to me. I'll let it roll off now. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. It doesn't exist. Those people should not exist. You shouldn't even have an emotional feeling when you see them. You just focus like an assassin. Even if you have to say it in the way that I mean it. Because somebody could be watching, well, he's trying to get all Black people to be assassins, so we need to shut his channel down. Let's do it. He's talking that hate talk. No. Assassinate all of the flotsam and jetsam and foolishness in your life And when you have that clear, straight path and that focus, nothing bothers you, no speed bumps, 24 hours can feel like 48. The 48 hours can feel like 72. The 72 can feel like 96. The 24 hours is synergistic. I've tightened up my game online so much that I have more time. I used to do things the old-fashioned way, and we're still out there. Now, it's streamlined, which means I can put more into this and that and whatever and get more rest and wake up with a clear mind because I'm not burning myself out while others, oh, he's all over the place. He's here all day. No, I'm not. But I'm near here. Make a more effective strike. You don't have to keep striking. The enemy knows you're trying to strike. You sit back. You sit up on that roof. Look at the banner. You sit up on that roof. Now you know he ain't home yet. The one he's waiting for on the rooftop. He's not supposed to get home until 10:15 that night. And this guy knows it. But he's in position. And he knows that when the guy comes home, he goes to the shower. He might have a girl come home with him, a young lady. Well, when he gets by that window to close that window, that's when he takes his shot because he's been there for 2 weeks coming there every day. Not with the weapon, but to watch the opponent, to scope him out. And see, this is what they do to master us. This is how they master us. They learn us by our reactions, by the things that we say in the comments. They know all the comments we make. They know all the people that we follow. They know all the things we do after hours. Check the person's history on their computer. You can see what they're doing. They know all of that too. They know what's in your phone. They know when you are sleeping. They know when you're awake. Right? Satan's claws are coming to town. Not Santa Claus. He's got you already. He's been scoping you. He's that assassin up on the roof. And he knows you so well that when he wants to pull the trigger, he got you. The trick is for you now to be in stealth mode, to be unpredictable, to not run your mouth on social media as much. You can say certain things, but then we have the phones that we talk on. We got to get together with people. And even when you get, it's going to come to a point like this, right? You ain't going to be able to be outside because the satellites can look down at you. You're not going to be able to talk because from years ago, there was a gadget that I was going to buy just for the fun of it, that you can aim on a person's window. Even if the window's closed and you can't hear, the window vibrates and it picks up the vibration and you can hear what they're saying. I didn't want to do it for any specific reason. I just said, man, it'll be cool to have. I found out a lot of things from people in different industries. I had a friend of mine that used to work in a phone company, and I found out certain things from the early 90s that were phenomenal if I told you about them now. The technology they have must be off the chain. It's going to come to a point where you have to do it like John Gotti did when they met at the social club that he had, and they had that place bugged, right? Where now you're going to have to, if you have something to say, you sit next to me, I sit next to you. We put a cover over our head, and you write down on a piece of paper what you want to say, crucial, and nothing can see us. And I write it down. We have a conversation, writing it down back and forth. It's going to get hot up under that cover, but we keep writing. Then after we're done, we burn that piece of paper. It's the only way, unless they can hear the pencil strokes and know what it is that, you know what I mean? And I'm not paranoid. I've had a lot of people talk to me about different things, that some things are like way out there, but some of the things that you may think are way out there are already in existence. But the main thing is they know us so well. And if we discipline ourselves and master the focus, they will not be able to defeat us from within. Because all they have to do is stage something to get us emotional, right? So act like they're snuffing a little child and you don't see the child no more. Yeah, and go around and talk about it. Well, they killed one of our babies, and now we're going to protest, and Al Sharpton's going to come and speak truth to power. We're going to feel good that, you know, that old seahorse-headed man was talking, and be back in the mall again Monday, buying that Korean hair. Yeah? You're in that bar again, trying to talk to that white woman. Business as usual. See, what happened to this? One thing about the civil rights movement is the spirit that we had. The bus boycott, right? Pouring down rain, and you're like, I'm not getting on that bus. We working as one. Now, those are kind of things that we can do in a different way now. So marching is not really just don't buy certain things. pool your money together, have that kind of unity, but because unity means you got to kind of like the person and stuff. No, I'll collaborate with people if it's for the best of us. But just like Ms. Scurv said earlier today, she said, I'm not going to really get on there and talk like that no more. Because, and she has it in her, we talk all the time like that, right? But you will be at the forefront of something, saying things, and the people will be, rah, 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 I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. And when it comes time to put yourself in the line of fire, you turn around, everybody hide behind the tree. That's how Black people are most of the time. When it comes time to putting yourself up where you might lose your job, or you put yourself in the line of fire, not just a fire with a weapon, but who wants that? But to have that spirit where we're not afraid to lose anything. There's nothing you've given us that we're afraid to lose, because we'll gain so much in our collaboration, in our whole unity. But we punk out. We like to talk. And I documented things that I can show you that I'm not just talk. Some people say, and they love to say that. It's easy to, oh, that was just talk. They're not real. For you to say that, that means you ain't real. I'm not saying nothing. All I'm saying is a lot of Black folks are punks and punkettes. Seriously. Just look where we are now. If we had the spirit of Malcolm X, the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr., the spirit of the civil rights, the whole nation Islam, at that time, I don't know about what's going on with any of them now, but at that time, we'd be better off, because we play with this thing. Black History Month has been reduced to the shortest month, and now we're all up in arms because other people ain't going to acknowledge the fact that we got history. Well, they don't tell you nothing anyway. They don't tell you anything anyway. Civil rights movement and slavery, that's it. They don't tell you where they got everything from. They're the biggest thieves with inventions and different things, especially during post-slavery time, when there were more inventions made by us. And many of the people sold out or had things stolen from them. Most of what you see now is us. But we've been so brainwashed and watered down. And so that's why they want to not acknowledge our history. We don't need them to acknowledge our history. What happened before churches and weddings and marriages, and a man said, I take you as my wife. And they lay down together and make children. There ain't no piece of paper around. What do they call it now? Common law? I don't need paper to show that I'm committed to a cause or a purpose. And we got to go over there. We got to go downtown and get, no, you don't. Do you need a piece of paper from the oppressor to be a revolutionary? Well, when you're a pastor, you have to get that piece of paper. So that rules them out, because they won't be a pastor no more if they talk too loud or talk too radical. You're an independent contractor of righteousness when you're a true revolutionary. You don't need no damn permission from anybody in no office downtown. You don't need no permission from anybody around you. You will stick out. They will know who you are, and they will know you not just from your talk, but you being able to back it up what you say, because you mastered the focus. You're not all over the place and nothing. Well, we're going to form this group, and we're going to be speaking every month. And then where's it going? It's just you talking. I'm not anybody's leader. I like to talk. I like to be thought-provoking. So if I can inspire or put a spark of a fire on somebody's wick in the candle and light them up, fine, I did my job. But if you're trying to put yourself up as somebody's prophet or leader, where's your damn movement? Where is it? What are you doing? Tonight, I'm talking about mastering focus. Isn't that important? They don't teach us that in school. And most of our parents are so busy working 2 and 3 jobs, they didn't have time. And now this generation is lost because you have this smartphone. They say it's a smartphone. Makes you dumb. It can make you smart. But you got to master the focus when you go on. It's like the more I'm on a roll with social media, you know, you have your timeline. Why do I have more behinds and butts and breasts shot at me? My God, dog. I mean, I was on the van the other day and I was looking on my YouTube and I rolled up and nothing but booties and the brother, hey, brother, I know what you like to look at. So there ain't no man if I do. If I like to look at something, it's going to be a woman. But I couldn't explain, well, I don't really, you know, sometimes some things catch your eye. I'm a man. But God, dog, do other people have this issue? Here's a little trick. If you don't have that problem, you want to see how engineered your timeline is, like say, for example, on YouTube, log out. Look at your timeline before you log out. Look at the things they suggest to you, because they will ask you, do you like this type of content? Can we show you more? Yeah, they ask you that, but they pretty much going to send to you what they want to promote. Log out. Then pull page as a generic thing. It's far different from yours. Then log back in and look at your homepage on YouTube, what they offer you. See, it's not all the same. And then because of this, our own likes, our own things, of course, it's nice to have. If you're into cooking, they're going to show you more cooking stuff. But it kind of closes in on us and we forget about the rest of the world, what's really going on out there. So you have to do that every now and then with any platform. Log out and see what they're presenting. And lots of times it's foolishness too. But there are things that we need to know that they're keeping from us. And because we are into certain things, like I love digital art. I'm a pen and paper kind of guy, pencil and pen on paper, but I also will enhance it with color. I'm not going to use no crayon or no magic marker. I'm going to color it with, I got digital tablets over there I haven't used in years. So that TD Snakes picture I did, I colored that with a digital whatever. So I'll dust it off and set that up over there, and that'll be my station for that. So those are things that I'm going to study. But again, you have to be proactive and not reactive, even when you get online. This is what I want to see when I get online. Let me search this. Not bing. Oh man, look at this. Oh man, look at that. Oh, I'm going to send you this. You're being reactive. So if the wind blows this way, you go that way. The wind blows this way, you go this way. No, you got to have where you want to go, what you need. What is it going to help me? What is it I can see that will help me reach my goal? I'm an assassin. You got to be assassins too, to all the foolishness shot in your mind. This is the next point. Okay. Let me see. Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all times, perfected a technique called the rope-a-dope. He let his opponents swing wildly, dodging their blows and allowing them to tire themselves out before delivering the knockout punch. White supremacy plays the same game against Black people. We march, we protest, we demand change, while the system absorbs the blows, bounces on the ropes, and laughs. They know they can't defeat us in a fair fight, so they don't engage. Instead, they wear us down through emotional manipulation, political deception, and internal division. This is why we often find ourselves further behind than we were during segregation, back when we at least owned businesses and supported each other economically. The illusion of progress keeps us swinging while the enemy waits for us to collapse from exhaustion. A skilled assassin is defined by their precision. They don't fire wildly. They don't waste energy. They don't seek personal satisfaction in watching their targets suffer. They simply eliminate obstacles and move forward. In our fight, our goal is not simply to take down an enemy, but to achieve freedom, empowerment, and self-sufficiency. The real target is clarity of purpose, economic independence, and community strength. I'm going to say it again. The real target is clarity of purpose, economic independence, and community strength. Distractions come in many forms, petty conflicts, emotional responses, performative activism, and ego-driven battles. But a master assassin does not waste time on distractions. They remain focused on the mission. True success in this fight begins with mastering the self. Before we can guide others, we must be in full control of our own emotions, reactions, and mindset. A teacher cannot teach what they have not mastered. A leader cannot lead if they are easily provoked. A warrior cannot fight effectively if they are distracted. The moment we stop stepping into traps laid by our oppressors, we win. When we learn to move around obstacles without giving them our energy, we win. When we stop seeking validation, revenge, or engagement with those who aim to derail us, we win. The highest level of power is not in crushing an enemy. It is in becoming untouchable. The goal is to move through life with purpose, unbothered by distractions, and fully engaged in building something greater than ourselves. Imagine walking down the street and stepping around an obstacle without a second thought. This is how we must treat the forces that seek to derail us. We don't need to engage in every slight, every insult, or every attack. Our focus must remain on the path ahead. White supremacy thrives on distraction. Our power comes from self-mastery, strategy, and an unshakable commitment to our own liberation. It's time to stop playing the game and start mastering our own. I think you got the point. Those are the words that I put down earlier. And I'm not going to linger on this too long, but like I say now, when we speak about white supremacy and oppression, understand that people who look like us can also be instruments or extensions of that come to smile with you when you're new on the job, to find out what that book is that you're reading. And if it's too radical, they run back to the boss man, like they say, the boss man. I don't never say that word. Or your supervisors or administrators to let you know what flavor that you're on. And you're proud to be who you are, but you better be strategic. You're not scared. No. Like when I say that there's certain words, the algorithms and the way they set this thing up, they don't want you to say. I'm going to be here to get the people to come so we can go back to my platform personally. I'd be a fool to try to show that I'm tough and run out on the battlefield with no weapon, and they're firing machine guns at me, and I'm going to sit there like Superman, and in my mind, the bullets are going to bounce off my chest. I'm not stupid. I'm strategic. Because many are swayed by courageous words, but half of these people on this thing are punks. They're like scarecrows, and they will test you. You ever see a scarecrow that's been up so long that the crows are on it, hanging out on the scarecrow? Like, that ain't no human. He ain't got no life in him. This person's talking words. They don't have no revolutionary spirit on them. See, me personally, I'm laid back and cool most of the time. And then when, not that I get emotional, when you cause yourself to be in my line of fire, you're going to find out I'm the real thing. So I got nothing to prove. I walk around, I'm going to prove this, I'm going to prove that. Oh, you say what you want. I'm going to avoid the obstacle. I'm going to avoid it. If you really get in my way and push up on me, you're going to find out. Like they say, F around and find out. Those videos you have on Instagram and TikTok, F around and find out. Keep poking the bear, you're going to find out. Now, let me just see if anybody wants to come on in. Okay, where's this link? Okay, it's down here. I'm so fired up sometime on a passionate level. I just love it. This is how I am 24/7, but I'm an assassin. Yeah. Thea Anthony, how are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, Dusty Walker Jr. Oh, yes, we're still in the trenches. Oh, yeah, we got to look. I'm dropping a link right now. I didn't even see because I had the banner up and I was reading off my notes, which that's done. I'm going to start writing up some notes for tomorrow's show. I'm going to in the chat room, there's a link. Anybody want to come in and say anything? Dusty Walker, we got to do another one, man. Time has flown. I still got the stripes behind me, but I'm in Africa right now, right? I mean, I think you know that already. You know what I mean? And it is what it is, man. You just come at you, and I'm like Pac-Man. Just I'm gonna eat through everything and get stronger and get stronger. But we in the trenches, and you know what? This war never stops on this plane. So I've mastered the balance of living and fighting, Because I can go off and go crazy. What was it? John Belushi or Saturday Night Live back in either late 70s, early 80s, late 70s. And he would start out doing this news program. He'd have a partner with him. And he would start out all cool and talk and get more amped up. And he'd fall out. That's how they want to do us, the rope-a-dope, right? No, I'm in this for the long haul. I live this. Anybody want to come on and hit that link? Miss you too. Yes. Anybody want to come on in and say anything? Wow. Yes, yes. I may not be able to pronounce that name properly, Diane. I'm so proud of that young man, Chikombotsu, who mastered radio frequencies. He is now selling his microsonic energy devices for cars, televisions, generators, motorcycles, etc. That brother needs to be protected. Because you know these people who have technology but don't want the world to have because they profit off of the more crude things. And worse, for a black man, a young black man to do it. That's unacceptable. So don't let their limitations stop you. Dream, visualize, focus. But you have to be an assassin and master focus. And not fall into the trap of distractions, because time is limited when you're distracted. But time is long when you're focused. When you're focused, and you get into something, and you really focus. And I love when I'm drawing, doing some artwork. And I got the pen. I always got a pen close by. I've been using the same pen all of these years. I love that pen. What is it? The oh God, I can't even say the name. It's the 402. I'll show it to you. Where is it? They're all over. There's like Thor and his hammer. Oh, there's one over there. A little too far, but I can't really stand up right now. I have a shirt on, but you know, we're not trying to get this show banned, right? But anyway, when I'm stroking, I outline with the pencil, but I use the ink to shade. You got to be bad to do that. You got to be focused. I usually stroke it 5 times, and I have an old shirt, and you know what? The fine point ballpoint pen ink will accumulate, and when you touch it too much, it'll spread out. So I'm drawing, and I just wipe it. Not on a piece of it, I just wipe it on my shirt. Quick, get back. Quick, focus. Sometimes I'll take 30 minutes on a little tiny eyeball. Just fade that in, just look, play my music, focus. And then when you pull back, if you focus on each part, you say, okay, I'm gonna take the next 2 hours and I'm gonna focus on his face. Just make sure, okay, the lower part, upper part. When you pull back, it's like, whoa. So if we can do our life like that and focus on a life and micromanage every part. I'm not talking about in an anal retentive way where we have to do everything overnight, but just watch over. Okay, if you cuss too much, let's say, let's come out with a different vibration. Let's try to talk a different way. Eating certain foods doesn't mean you're gonna stop right away, but be aware of it. Pull back on this. And not a matter of being strict and pulling back, but you free yourself up in other ways when you're not trapped in these external things, right? That's why they throw so much distractions at us. That's why our minds are taken away early in the morning sometime. We grab the phone. Sometimes we're looking for the phone and we laying on the phone. Why is that? It happens to me. Because tonight, as I go to sleep, I'm going to talk about the topic, write down some things, research some things, format it out, go to sleep, get up, put it up. Then my graphics, I have a plan. I have a way I do things. That's why I been doing this for a long time. Yes. Distractions are everywhere around us while they are gearing up for something sinister. Exactly. We all got to chop it up sometime. Have everybody come on in. Every time the show is about to go over, because I'm going to set some things up. And the notes that I had, I'm going to put it up on this post on Substack. If you're not on Substack, Lancescurv.substack, that's where I'm going to put up the articles that you won't see here. Maybe I'll put them on the post sometime on YouTube in that area, but nobody really digs too deep. But if you have if you subscribe with your email, every time I do something, it's going to go in there, so you won't miss anything. It won't be the same thing. Well, I didn't get a notification. That's the enemy's way of controlling. That's what they do. So this way, and again, okay, I have it up here. Okay, let me find it right here. Okay, let me remove that part. Take that out. If you are not subscribed by email to this, you have to do it now. I never tell you what to do, but they're going to try to really come at me a certain way online again. So we got to be ready. If you are not subscribed, go there, lancescurv.substack.com. If you want, we have all the lives there. There's going to be articles that I can write more scathing. I have a lot more freedom there. And I'm going to actually soon take my website domain, Lancescurv.com, and point it to there, so that will be my site. And I'm working on that. But you have to be there, because now if something happens with me in any social media platform and you can't find me, no excuse. That link right there. That's all I ask. There's nothing to pay. On some things, certain things, more adult, more scathing, more, right? But every day, articles and videos there. These videos are also going to be over there, right? But the articles and the written stuff, we can go in the chat room and talk, interactive. You can chat with other people directly on that. This is a dream come true. And every time I put something out, it will go out right into your mailbox. Thank you so much, C. Anthony. Thank you so much. I can't say anything more. On this particular post on Substack, I'm going to transfer the notes there of what I read. I'll be doing it that way. You'll see the video area and you're like, oh man, I don't see nothing else. I'll put it there now. I'm going to make a merchandise section. I'm going to put some real radical sayings. If you want me to deal with any type of thing and put it on a t-shirt, tell me the idea. I'll craft the words real slick. Email me, lance@lancescurv.com, or hit me on Substack. You know, well, or it removed you. It removed you from my page. My channel was taken down this time last year. So all 6,000 videos they had, they're gone from that page, but I have the majority of them here that'll take time and upload. So a lot of people think I took them off of YouTube, but I don't have that power. If you subscribe to me, I can't stop you, right? But they did that. They hijacked and hacked me and they did it before my very eyes so quick. Yeah, for real. And they changed the header, they changed the name I had. And Google was down with that. Google and YouTube, they were down with that. Long story, one day I'll tell it. Maybe you're right about it. No, I'd rather tell it on a live show how it happened, because a lot of technical things, there's a lot of shady things I know they do. And my friend, who is a mastermind with all things cyberspace, he's not a hacker, but he has hacker abilities. He's like, they just did that. They were coming at you. Yeah, it's okay. I'm still here. I still got my stuff, right? It may not all be on this channel. I still got it. So I sprinkle old stuff sometime, put it up on this channel. Anything I mention, the C19 or anything like that, they're going to take it down. I'm not scared. You got to be smart. You got to rope-a-dope these fools. Yeah, and they make it where you can't find me. That's right. But yet and still, I found out through my hacker friend, I'll call him that people who are self-professed enemies of mine use my name to get attention so they can get, I know. But yet and still, I'm fake. But they want to use your name. It's funny. Like Mike Tyson said, how dare they try to challenge me with these primitive skills? Can't do it. So this is why now we're coming back with momentum, harder, but you gotta subscribe there. They can't touch me there. You know, we're all going through things. If you see an article you like, share it. Something you want to talk about? Say, Lance, do a show on this. I'll do it. I think up these things to talk about. People have good conversations with me. I'm like, yo, those are some good points. That'll make a good conversation. Something, something good to talk about. Let's give him something to talk about. Yeah, it's hard to find me. You know what I mean? I'm the X-Man on social media. They don't want, they tried me over the years. Let's try to compromise them. Let's try to compliment him and get him on with us. And, you know, we can make him this, especially around the time with Dr. Drew. Oh, yeah. They were trying CNN, headline news. Well, you can come back if you answer, you know, in a charismatic, proper way. We can have you come back and you'll benefit and you will become one of those who are, well, I like being free, y'all. The proof is in the pudding. I didn't just stay over there and kiss up under them. I got the hell up on out of there, man. I love being free. If it's two people, if it's on the corner, if it's in the back of a van, if it's on a private phone call, I'm going to be me. I was always me before I was even online. I was this way long before. Ask anybody who knows me for a long time. Not the John, and it doesn't mean if you just met me now or the last few years that you're a Johnny come lately, because you can know me on a deeper level than somebody I knew for a long time. But I've known some people for such a long time and on a deeper level where they knew my parents, they knew my family, they knew all my girlfriends, they knew my secrets, some of them, whatever. So they can tell you my strengths and the parts I need to work on. I'm not going to claim weaknesses. You know what I mean? We all have things we have to improve on, and that's just the way it is. Well, if nobody's coming on in, that's cool. I'm not mad at you. Maybe you're at work or doing something. I'm going to keep on doing this, and whenever you want, just let me know. Want to do a little something, hit me up. We'll do it. We'll break up the screens twice, like with Neil Frazier, and we'll do something with up to 10 people, whatever. So tomorrow I'm going to bang some content. I'm going to get up and do some things behind the scenes. I'm going to take this post and put the on Substack and put the words and everything and set up something else. Probably will write another article tonight. I'm in that mood. What time is it now? 11:38. I will be. I'm not tired, but I want to get into the cerebral and work on some things to make it pop. You know what I mean? Work on some graphics to make it pop. Not to be flashy, but our people love to see things looking good. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going to, if I had a restaurant that had good food, I'm not going to take it on a dirty hubcap and slap it on and say, here, it's good food. Man, that's a dirty hubcap. The presentation has to be right. This is to be proud of who you can be real and still be well dressed. I'm gonna come out here all sloppy. You know what I mean? If I know how to do something, I'm gonna do it. I used to have the name down on the bottom, but it was interfering with, so this one I'm gonna put it up top. So, you know, if I'm moving closer, my head's pretty big, so I had to size it just right. I took time and painted them stripes back there. That's not a fake background, y'all. This place is not fake. And I wish y'all could know. I'm gonna show you a little bits. I'm gonna make that a private thing. I'm gonna make that a private thing where the whole world ain't gonna see it. We're gonna take you for a little tour. You're gonna see Brother Man put in some work. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me sign off and move ahead. There's some things I gotta check. These lights are toasting me like that, like them French fries at McDonald's, man. Already been fried up out in that hot African sun, which I love, vitamin D. But now I'm under these lights, I'm sweating. But it's good though. It doesn't bother me though. I'm used to it. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off. LANCESCURV out. Much love. I will talk to you tomorrow. I said I might do some tonight, but I'm gonna put some work in tonight on the back end of things. And there's a chat room in Substack. You hit me with a message in the general chat. We'll talk. All of y'all, everybody, you know. So don't forget those emails to hit right there. And I'm going to put something on the screen permanently for tomorrow's show and forevermore to say, hey, this is a link you go to. You can see it all the time because sometimes folks forget and everything, right? So I will talk to you later on. LANCESCURV out. Much love. I'm glad you all are here. I had a good time tonight. We're going to keep on banging the content. And I got some footage, some B-roll I want to put up, just for walking around, just make you see what it's like down here. I'm going to start doing that again, right? Much love to you all. Salute to my brothers. Mwah. Much love to my sisters. Tomorrow, the Creator willing, we'll be right back. And I'm just so glad to see some of the faces here. Just all of y'all and some of the nostalgic faces and the energy. We're going to keep on sharing it. We're going to be proactive. We're going to master our focus. Tomorrow, I want you to wake up and know what your mission is. That means tonight when you go to bed, say, okay, mission don't mean it's always going to be, even if it's just going to go food shopping. I'm going to go food shopping. If I run into somebody talkative, I have to get out of there. Whatever it is, focus, get used to focus, and you'll get so much done. Guaranteed. It works for me, it'll work for you. And I already know that you all are great. I'm preaching to the choir, right? But there's somebody out here who's listening who don't know. Don't waste your energy on gossip and on stupid people want to distract you and even temptation sometime. If you do something you want to do, make sure you allot the time. I'm going to do this on Saturday, but I ain't going to do this now. I was a young man too, so I know how it is. Much love to you all. Take care. So long.